Hello and welcome back to one of Unita and Sinead's weekly videos. This week we're talking about the Heihachi blades and the 4 different blade types you can attach to your Heihachi blade. Last week we just didn't want to make the video any longer than it was. So here Unita will be talking about the different blade sizes, and yeah, you'd be interested in that.
Yeah, so the Heihachi pole saw is such a fantastic pole saw, and it's quite unique in the Silky range in that it has 4 different blade options. All the other Silky pole saws you just have the 1 blade option, but with the Heihachi you can actually choose between 4 different blades. The other thing that's quite unique to the Heihachi pole saw is you have a locker attachment that you can also use on the Heihachi pole saw. So it's a really cool pole saw in the Silky range because you can sort of cater it to your personal needs, whether you collecting seeds, or whether you're just generally pruning around the home, or whether you're doing rescue work of some kind. There's all different purposes that people use these pole saws for, and the Heihachi is so fantastic in that you have that ability to customize it, sort of to be more exact for what you want to do. So let's get into the different blade options. We have 4 different blade options here. So this one here is what they call the Acrobat, and it's quite neat in that it's a thinner blade, so it's got the thinnest curve of all blade options for the Heihachi. It has no sickle at the bottom, and what else is different with this one? They all have all the blade options. Actually, Sinead, if you grab the other 2, we'll hold them all up at once. So these are the 4 blade options: Acrobat, Ibuki,
Heihachi 39cm blade and Heihachi 48cm blade.
Yeah, so when you compare, say, these 2 here, the Acrobat and the Heihachi, the differences are no sickle at the bottom. Otherwise, it's the same teeth, same size teeth, same sickle at the top, but the Acrobat is a thinner curve. So that means it's going to cut a little bit faster and a little bit easier. Otherwise, the downside of it is because you don't have the sickle at the bottom, it doesn't have quite as much strength, the rigidity, and also you can't underscore bark. So that's the sort of, I guess, what you lose with picking that blade over the Heihachi blade. Now comparing it to the Ibuki here in the middle, now you can see this is in a handsaw setting. So you can have this blade as a handsaw blade or as the pole saw blade. Again, no sickle with this one, but it is a much thicker blade. So you have, again, obviously more strength when it's thicker. And the great thing with the Ibuki is the teeth are the same style as all of these 4 blades, but they are a smaller tooth. Now your smaller teeth work much better on hard deadwood. So when people come in and say, oh look, I want the best deadwooding saw you've got, this is the one we give them, the Ibuki handsaw. It's absolutely brilliant for deadwooding. And in a pole saw situation, this is also the way you want to go. Downside is it doesn't have the hook at the end, which means that it doesn't catch onto the branch when you're fully pulling through that branch. So you just have to be careful that you're sort of accurately pulling to the length you want to, basically. The great thing with these 3 is you can sort of pull as hard as you want, and that hook at the top will catch the branch and stop you pulling out of the cut. But with the Ibuki you don't have that, so you've just got to be a bit more aware that you don't pull all the way through the cut. But fantastic if you need a narrow blade that will gain access in tight places, but also do deadwooding, and particularly on your smaller branches too. Fantastic, the Ibuki. The one on the right there that Sinead's got, the 420, I think, Sinead, you talked a lot about that last week, didn't you?
Yes, and this one has the detachable sickle to it.
Yeah, so quite cool. If you're not sure, don't I need that detachable sickle now? A little recap on that. The reason you might want to take that sickle off is, 1, if you don't want to do undercutting of the bark, but mainly if you're cutting something really big, because all Silky pole saws work on the pull stroke. So wherever you start that cut, so say you start it here, these are the only teeth really that are cutting that timber. So if you're cutting something this big, no biggie, because you've still got so many teeth to use. But if you're cutting something like that big, then you've sort of lost half your blade. So in that case you might want to take the sickle off, because then you can start the cut right down here and you still have all of those teeth to cut through the big limb. So again, you just need to think, am I ever going to be cutting something that big up a tree? So therefore, is that sickle removable really necessary for me, I guess? So something else I wanted to mention is one of the really, really cool things about Silky saws is that they continually improve their products. So they don't make something today and then in 10 years time go, oh, you know, that was great back in its day, but now technology's changed. What they do is they continually improve their products. So the Heihachi just recently this one, has just received a fresh new coating. So they now coat these blades in a different product. Now we're not allowed to say what it is because so many companies copy Silky, so they have to work it out for themselves. But what it means is that they're a lot more rust resistant now than they used to be. Now, being in Australia, that doesn't mean that they're not going to rust, because we have, as we mentioned lots of times, some of the harshest saps in the world. But it just means that they're going to cope a lot longer and hopefully maintain that beautiful, smooth, shiny appearance. And I mean, that's important to reduce friction when you're using them. So yeah, quite cool. They now are all coming out with this fantastic new treatment on the blade or coating. Okay, so yeah, that's the difference of the blades.
I'm going to give you a little rundown of our brochure. So say like teeth size or a thickness of blade is super important to you, and you do want to find out what it is. If you don't have a Silky brochure at home, head into your local Silky dealer, and there's a high chance that they still will have heaps in if they haven't already given away. But at the very back of your brochure, it has all the pole saws. So each will have a breakdown of what each tooth size is every 3 centimeters, how big the blade is, each pole saw.
Got the arms going.
I know. If it's sharpenable or not sharpenable. But if you head a couple of pages back, it'll be a big photo of the Katana Boy. Ooh, Katana Boy. It'll also give you what each tooth size explains as well, from the extra large to the extra fine tooth as well, and what's it used for and where you can find your saw.
Going back to that page though, the stuff that you are also pretty going to be interested in is the different features of the saws. So they're at the bottom here. Now any Silky brochure will have this in it. It's just this particular one Sinead was showing you is in this section. But you want to look for these pictures. These pictures here explain the real features that you're probably after, which is, can I sharpen it? What style of tooth does it have? Does it have a coating on the blade? Does it have a special handle? Has it won an award? All that kind of cool stuff. It's all in these sort of symbol picture forms, and then as Sinead said, when you go on the pole saw or any of the hand saws, above them will have these little pictures. So then you can sort of figure out which saw has which feature that's really important to you.
Yeah. Cool. So if you don't have Unita and Sinead everywhere you go.
It could be on your phone, so.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. So that's it from us. We hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or send us an email, silkysaws@hotmail.com. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. But yeah, that's all.
And comments at the end of the videos are great too. Gives us an idea on what we should do, shouldn't do, should say, shouldn't say.
If my hair looks okay or not. Or if you saw my earring fall out before.
All those comments are fine.
Yeah. That's all from us, and all these blade types and information will be in the description below. So find out more then.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.